Alright guys, I've been digging in the nasty bucket. This is a lock from, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, I know it, Benage or Benage. Anyway, he's from Arizona, Gila, like Lizardville, Arizona. He sent a Mindy lock. This is an oddity, I have to say. I've seen these on Amazon, and in fact, that's where he got this thing. They mark it top security. It kind of looks cool. It's got shielded shackle. It is a cast body, though, it appears. It does say top security. It does say hardened, so let's explore some of that. First, the interesting part of this lock is the locking mechanism itself. It's just an oddity. It's something that kind of throws you. You don't expect a weird-looking keyway like that. We've seen these before. We call these smiley locks. Kind of looks like a smile. And if you ever see the key, they also are kind of weird. This is a 6-pin lock. It slides in there very easily, and you'll notice when it turns, there's no spring tension at all until the mechanism starts to engage. Then it's a very strong spring that rotates about 1/8 of a turn, and you get an open. Very tight mechanism, very precise in the way it seems to work. As I said, it says hardened. Let me flip it over. It says hardened. But just because they took the time to put that on there doesn't mean they took the time to actually harden it. That is about 1/2 stroke with a hacksaw blade. You could easily cut through this shackle in less than a minute with a normal hacksaw. So it is not hardened despite the advertising. Kind of cool. Let's see if we can get in here. The trick we're going to have is in tensioning this. If you try to use traditional tensioning, you'll notice that the center part of that smile is kind of angled. And they did that on purpose. If you try to tension from the middle, that will not allow it to kind of grab. It kind of throws it out of the tensioning. Besides, if you use that center part there, excuse me, if you use the center part there, you're going to block your access to those pins. Again, you'll notice there's no bottom on that core. So if you try to tension from this side, when you tension, you're actually binding up the core with your tensioner. So you won't be able to rotate the core. So the only place you can really tension, let me change hands here, is on that left side. If you take a tensioner and if you stick him in there, I mean a traditional tensioner, and if you twist him, again, you're going to bind it up against the side of the body there. It's not going to apply the rotational pressure that you want. Instead, you've got to find some way to pull, and I've done these before. I can use this, or I'll actually use, if I can grab one here, I'll probably use a dimple pick because they're kind of perfectly shaped. I'm going to probably hang them up there just like that. And then I'm actually going to pull up. I'm not going to twist. I'm going to pull it until we get an unlock. And then we'll figure out what to do from there to overcome that powerful spring. So anyway, let me go ahead and clamp this baby up and see if we can't get it picked. All right, that ought to hold it. I am going to try to pick this with 2 dimple picks. These are both from the Sauber kit, and I'm going to use the 2 small flags. These are both straight flags, no bend in them at all. And the reason I'm going to use 2 of them, one of them is really going to be the tensioner. And I'm going to use it right here. I'm going to tuck it right under his lip. And I'm actually going to try to pull up to widen his smile a little bit. You see that core? It does move pretty freely in there. So I'm thinking that'll be exactly the tension that we want, or at least the angle to maintain tension. And the other one I'm just going to use a normal dimple pick. Pretend this is a dimple lock. So pull pretty moderate or even heavy tension. I'm going to slide it to the rear and try to find a binder. And if I don't find any, which I did, and it slid pretty freely all the way to the rear there, I'm going to tighten up on the tension a little bit more, pull upwards a little harder, trying to force something to bind. And still got nothing, so I'm going to start feeling the pins. Somebody's got to bind, right? These are all springy. Oh, there we go. I'm on pin 5. He's definitely bound near the bottom. Come on, I'm going to release some tension because he is just not moving. Probably should have squirted some WD-40 up in here. Come on. Get under there. He's really stuck. Let's look at the pins behind him first. Yeah, they're fine. All right, he's the one. I'm going to release all tension here And he's still stuck. I probably seriously should have put some lube in this thing. All right. Now I got him moving. Put a little, pick him, and then I think we got him. So I'm betting there's some grit up in here, because I can't imagine these would be security pins. I'm on pin 3. Same deal. He just doesn't want to go. So lighten up on the tension. Listen for 4 to drop. There we go. Okay, that was 3, I think. Pin 1. Get under there. There we go. I believe he's picked. So what I'm going to do, let me take that pick out of his caught. I am going to, yeah, so you see him turning, but I'm about to break my pick because we're putting there's a lot of tension on it. So I'm going to see if I can take one of these probes, maybe a screwdriver if I can get him to fit. Try to stick him right there. All right. And there we go. We got an open on the Mindy. Let me back this baby out. The Mindy, and I'm not even going to say top security, but there's your open. Guys, just because it looks weird and intimidating and some kind of alien technology doesn't mean you can't pick it. Just try something a little bit different. Try to find a new way to tension it. Try a different pick. Eventually, you'll figure out what the lock's secret is. Anyway, fellas, thanks for your time. Stay safe. Stay legal. Benage, Benage, whatever. Thanks for the lock, sir. And I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name.